Put that coffee down.
I had a Slumdog Millionaire. 10 years of like what I would consider, looking back, fairly difficult. Like work, life, money, the whole thing. It was 10 years of absolute grinding to be in a position where like I have enough back end knowledge now without any like real traditional learning around stuff. But like I ran brick and mortar, really difficult business model. I went from having like one gym to then being like the sort of part owner and essentially like the chief revenue officer, for lack of a better term, of like 18 gyms that had 100 full-time staff. So I was constantly problem solving the marketing and the sales of all these different things. And then I was training sales teams because I could do it, but then I had to figure out a way to translate other people to do it. And then James was doing that with me at that. And then I always had the hardest gyms. So like the gyms that I ran were in like horrendous areas that were just like that. It was just all people who didn't give a fuck about fitness. Right. You know, like the one I ran in Rockdale was like heavily like Nepalese community. And like I got along with them great, but like they just didn't have there was just not a cultural
of going to the gym.
We love fitness.
Yeah.
And so like the ones that we did get, like it was a very hard, I'm talking 45-minute sales for $97.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Whereas now I would probably wrap that up in 15, but like it took real, and Marco sold in that one too. And he was like, that was tough like that. He really enjoyed it though. So he was, it's a funny story. He was calling people like 10 p.m. at night because nobody would pick up ever. And so he just started calling people at 10 p.m. That's
like family emergency.
Yeah.
You're fat.
Yeah. He would triple dial. They'd be like, what's happening? He's like, hey, this is Marco. You're fat. So that was tough.
It's a 24-hour gym. Get down there now.
Yeah. Bro, I remember this one time we had a crazy guy who was directly across, because we're on the second floor. He was directly across. Yeah. He had a balcony and that, and he was like, hey, can I come over? I was like, yeah, sweet, come over. And he was saying how he had bitch tits. This is his word. He was like, I got bitch tits.
Don't we all, my friend.
And he was like, I want to get rid of him. I was like, yeah, sweet, sign up. And he was like, nah. And I remember every day I'd see him on his balcony. I go, how are those bitch tits going, bro?
I like them. I've decided to keep them.
Yeah. That was a weird gym. The adjacent, like the direct neck, we shared a wall. One day I was in the office and I look up and like SWAT.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, hey, boys, what's going on? They're like, guy's holding his family hostage. Like that. So this is the area that I was in.
Okay, yeah.
Right? There's housing commission and shit. So it was really, really difficult sales. And then, so because I kind of cracked that nut, like I'd taken those systems, then when I started opening gyms, it was so hard. It was so difficult. The KPIs that we had were so unrealistic, but we had to hit them. I remember one time they called me, hey, can you do this? This is your KPI. I was like, oh, it's completely unachievable. And I go, that's a bad mindset. I go, well, it's not. I just go, if you have a look at like statistically over the last year of everything that we've done, that would involve me doubling the rate of our best month.
Yeah.
I was like, that's just statistically so unlikely. And they go, well, that's what you have to do. I go, okay. I can accept that, but just don't forecast off it.
Yeah.
And they go, no. I was like, no. I was like, you can set that me as your KPI. That's fine, because you could use that as a way to fire me. Like, I understand how business works, but do not forecast off this.
Don't expect me to achieve it.
And they go, no. I go, no, do not fucking forecast off this. You can set it as my KPI, but do not put this in the budget.
Yeah.
And they were like, anyway, they're insolvent now.
Yeah.
So
it's off topic a little bit, but certainly I think you expose yourself as an uncredible person the moment you give someone an unreachable deadline. When people do that to me, when someone says, hey, I need this tomorrow, and they know...
And you work here?
Well, but they know full well that can't be done in that time. I'm like, I will never do that for you. Like, it is because you're stupid. Like, you've exposed to me that you don't understand logistics, and therefore I will not be working with or for you.
And it just makes you like, well, why would I try?
Yeah.
That's the point. It's statistically...
it cannot be done.
Yes, it's like, oh, well, like... And I just remember getting off that phone call going like, hey, like, I'll do my best. They go, you got to hit it. I go, almost definitely won't.
Yeah.
That. And they were really frustrated about it, but I was like, it's not going to happen. It's like not a mindset thing. It's just a factual thing. I ended up getting pretty close.
Yeah.
Like, but again, like what I had to do to achieve it was so unrealistic in the terms of what anybody else would be willing to do who wasn't a quote unquote owner. Right? Because I considered myself an owner, even though I owned a small percentage, but I acted like an owner.
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, so all those things combined, and then going into the commission on the sales realm having all that background, all that objection handling, all the immense volume of sale, and sort of like having to pay for the leads, you know, from being an owner, like taking that upon myself to be like, well, I'm paying for these leads. Like I need to fucking do something with them. And then I took all that mentality to like commission only sales.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'll just do the same stuff that I've always done.
Yeah.
But I did the same stuff that I did when I owned everything. And as I started to do that, and I was just like, the more I systemize and dial in all the numbers, and the more like I can figure out what all my acceptable ratios are, then I can like move on to the next thing. It was just like it made my life easier having like, okay, well, if I have this, I'll do this. I have this, I do this, and then just map that out. Because like, and this is mainly when I was in Perth, like I had just very specific hours that I could work because we had the kids, and I just didn't want
life.
It's life. So I was like, I'm not going to work. I can't work from 5 to 7, you know? So all those kind of things. And I did that crazy time for a while when I was trying to make like tons of money just to prove that I could. But like around that, when I was doing mainly Australian accounts, like I would work from, you know, I'd work from 8 till 5.
Yeah.
That was it. So it's like, well, if I've got the 40 hours a week or whatever it is, like I need to maximize it. And I think that's what a lot of sales guys don't do, is they sort of like twiddle their thumbs, and you know, they don't do like revenue generating activities because they never run their own business. They don't realize that they are their business.
Put that coffee down.
New episodes released every week on your favorite podcast app, or you can watch them on YouTube.
Coffee's for closers only.